Welcome back to Day One Dev channel, and I have taken an CKA certification exam, and I want to share some information about that. How was my experience, and what are things you need to focus? So just want to share my experience here, how it went about the exam. The good part is I passed, and I made pretty good progress. Then, based on my CKAD, which I took almost 1.5 year back, and so I want to just capture my meeting or certification notes that will help even for me for in future if I'm taking an exam, as well as I want to share this information to my subscribers who also might be interested taking exam. All right. So CKA is a pretty hands-on experience, and it's a pretty challenging and comprehensive assessment, and it requires a lot of knowledge and hands-on skill about Kubernetes clusters. Uh, so there are a few highlights I want to call out here. One is a preparation. Please make sure that you're typically prepared for CKA exam and follow the study material as what are the Kubernetes documentation calls out their exam. And what are the familiar concepts and components, and pretty much CLI commands and metadata information, which is a creation of a YAMLs, is also required. So if you can do some kubectl commands, stick to that, and generate your YAML files and metadata files, and from there you can modify your information. So exam format is pretty much straightforward. Usually you have a few questions. You'll get it somewhere between 10 to 20. I do not have exact number saying that you get only this many questions, but all that is based on the criteria and based on your the time you signed up and based on your version. So just make sure that you have 2 hours exam. What are the number of questions you are getting it between 10 to 20? Make sure that you have to stick to that format and you have to be more hands-on on that. All right. And coming to the task complexity, as it states, the exam states that it's pretty much you have a simple questions, maybe a few you'll get it, and similarly you have some complex questions. Also, there are some of them are uh, upgrading your Kubernetes configuration and application deployments, troubleshooting, security, networking, and storage level questions, as it has been documented in the official documentation of your content. That is pretty much straightforward. As I stated, the problems you might get between 15 to 20 within 2 hours. There are certain uh, different different tasks for every problem you'll have it. So as I stated here, if you're getting into problems about 15, let's assume, and you might have each problem might have 1 to 3 tasks you have to finish it, and that is also very important. All this, let's assume you are getting 20 problems, and 20 problems might be have 1 task each problem. It might be 20 tasks ask total, or if you have 10 problems you're getting it, and each task you might have 2 tasks to finish it. So, but end of the day, if you see it, right, overall big picture, the number of tasks you're solving, I think pretty much every person who were taking a CKA, they might have a same number of tasks, but the vary might be a problems. So I might get 10 problems within each problem with 2 tasks. So technically it might have 20 tasks, but you might get 20 problems, but each problem might have 1 task. Uh, so, so you have to be prepared for that. It doesn't matter how many tasks you get it, but you're always you have to stick to the time management part. So the coming to the time management, definitely you have to align and allocate your time wisely. And when I was doing a preparation, I was making sure that every problem I defined myself as a simple, medium, and complex. So if it is simple or complex or a medium, I try to solve it. If it is a one task based, I try to solve less than 5 minutes. So that way I have enough time. My 2 hours window, I always plan for that. But if a problem has a two tasks, I try to finish it in 8 minutes approximately, or the max not to go beyond 12 minutes. Let's take example. I mean, networking side, or if I'm doing on a security side, definitely there are not too many kubectl commands I can execute generate YAML files. So how to write a YAML looking at a documentation. So that kind of a scenario, I spend more time going for a documentation, keep on typing it. Unfortunately, based on my experience on exam, it's not user friendly to copy your documentation, putting back in your VI or Joe editors or Vim editors. So I never had that experience. I tried multiple times, but I never had a successful copying a content from browser to my terminal. But I can do that in my local laptops. But in exam, I don't know, some reason I was unable to do that. So that is an area where I have to rewrite, keep on typing a lot of things. So be good at that part. And now, if you're some reason, if you have a three tasks in your problem, then try to make it less than 15 minutes. Try to solve it. If you have three problems, then the three tasks might not be all three will be complex, but there might be one is a complex one might be a medium one might be a simple one. Maybe if I need to put it simple format, which also shared one of a video on a practice exam. If you're simple creating a I call it creating a pod with an Nginx, and the medium I might call out as an creating as an service account for that pod to access, or creating in a service account to exposing to a node port. But now, if I call a complex, then I might be putting in some scenario such as that is restrict all the access to that pod or service, but it should be access only certain namespace or certain other pods can communicate to on a certain port number. That is where networking policies you have to attach it. So that is where I define myself a criteria where it falls. So based out of that, because now I defined a simple, medium, and complex, then I try to solve in 15 minutes, because the simple one, I know the command, I don't need to look for a documentation, I can execute it. And the second one also, I know about how to create a node ports using an expose command of a kubectl, and I can do that too, right? But now third one, which I called out network policies, which I cannot do everything from CTL commands, network policies. So I have to do only a certain part I can generate the template, but most of the stuff I need to go to a documentation. I need to look for ingress and egress. That's where I call out as a complex part for me, right? And during an exam, you can look at the Kubernetes documentation, but I do want to call out exclusively memorize this path, kubernetes.io/docs and /reference. Memorize that URL, and when you go there, you can open that URL on that. But the catch here is, if you are trying to, I know most of the people like me, it's hard to remember entire Kubernetes spelling. So to make it a time saving, right, I always look for ks.io/docs.reference. That is generally I do it. But unfortunately, some reason the exam will not allow you to go to the second URL, ks.io. It will throw an error if you try to open that in a browser. It will tell you not to, that is not an authorized URL. You have to go to a kubernetes.io/docs/reference. You have to go for that. So, and within a reference, generally search, I can do it. It allows you to have two tabs. So technically, you can open a second tab with an kubectl. Remember, once you go to references, how to keep or how to navigate yourself to kubectl command. because it will not allow you to do a Google search. Like in my regular work or laptop, I do a Google search for kubectl commands. It will directly take me to generated kubectl commands to look for the kubectl commands. But in exam, it will not allow you to do that. So you have to, from our references, try to keep practicing how to navigate to your kubectl so directly you can go to that path. That will help you a lot. So long story short, so overall CKA exam is a rigorous test for Kubernetes knowledge as well as skill the test for me. And it also demonstrates the proficiency of a Kubernetes administration CKA, but CKAD is more application developer. So that is also I cleared some time back, but I'll capture that also as my meeting minutes or my referential notes. And also I'm planning to, there's a 10 practice exam videos have released. They're coming out. They've been released out by the time this video practice exam experiences will be published. The other, my 10 videos will be live. And also I'm gonna publishing CKAD practice exams. I think there are going to be around 12 questions, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So time management is very important. Keep on practicing it. If you know you're trying to meet 8 minutes, the next time when you practicing second time, make sure that if you can bring down your 8 minutes of a same problem you're solving it, try to bring it down to 7 minutes or 7.5 minutes. So that is going to help you a lot, especially because that means you're remembering your basic commands. You get used to it, your basic commands on your fingertips, but they are complex, as I said, network policies and persistent volumes and persistent volume claims. They cannot be done most of using a kubectl command. You have to rely more on metadata YAML generations, copy paste it. So that is a more time consuming for me. All right. I hope I've given you enough information. Good luck with your exam. If you have any questions, please comment there. I try to watch it every week, and definitely I'll share some tips if you need, if you're trying to achieve that. All right. Please subscribe to Dev and Dev channel.